Howdy, welcome to the group speech for Group 1. Today we'll be talking to you about Texas A&M transportation and the necessary reform for it. I'm Michael Reinhardt. I'll be kicking things off, and then we have Jose, followed by John, and then Alec will be concluding. Here is my keyword outline. So we have the introduction, main point 1, main point 2, main point 3, and the conclusion. All right, so most of all of us here, we all know this, we've spent a great deal of money to park on campus versus the actual amount of time we've spent at parking. Usually we're in and out, and we pay a lot more than we actually need parking for. Students at Texas A&M University have to be incredibly flexible to meet the educational demands that they signed up for. And parking should not get in the way of that. I believe if we give students the ability to use what I call parking hour allotment, we give them more of an incentive to come to campus and use campus's resources more often and not be so threatened and scared by the ability that they won't be able to park and possibly be late for class. So today we'll be talking about the issues with parking on campus, including buying a pass, the amount of pay by hour spots that there are, and the amount of 30-minute spots that are incredibly limited. And then we'll talk about how we can solve those problems. And then here is everybody's thesis. So we all know parking passes are expensive. Now, personally, where I would park would be on the north side of campus. As an engineer, I utilize Zachary a lot. And most of my classes are actually in Thompson, if anybody knows where that is. So with this being said, I'd probably be parking in North Campus or the new Polo Road Garage. However, those parking passes are incredibly expensive. The graphic on the right is directly from the Texas A&M University transportation website. And it shows both past prices of passes and then future prices. Currently, for the upcoming school year, a parking pass at minimum would be $546. And then the new Polo Road Garage would be $646. And if you want to park in an open lot and try to save some money, well, you're still paying a lot of money. $338 just for an open lot. So if you can't buy a parking pass because they're too expensive, then you're forced to look for temporary spots. These are 30-minute spots. Personally, I have most of my classes in Thompson. So the graphic on the right shows where I am at the most, that center building. And the red circle, those are the only 30-minute spots associated with Thompson. The graphic on the left are those actual spots, and during a high volume flow of a normal semester, these spots are always full, with people usually parking over the actual 30 minutes. So I'm in Capstone right now, and I only need to be on campus for a short amount of time to pick things up, drop things off, or meet with somebody very quickly. And the ability to not be able to park here severely limits my ability as a student. If I can't find parking here, I'll try to park in a nearby garage. However, it's $5, which in my opinion is a meal for a student, just to be in and out of campus really fast. And that's just too much money. So if you can't find a 30-minute spot, then you're gonna look for pay by the hour spots. What I have on the right is a cluster of veterinarian buildings on West Campus. There's 5 buildings that house both undergraduate classes and veterinary student classes. That lot 24 is the only lot that services all of those buildings. And in the blue strip are the only pay by the hour spots. I've been by here during a normal semester, and they're always full, and there's a line waiting for a spot to become available. And if you want to actually buy a parking pass for the lot, you have to be a veterinarian student. So that's not even available for undergraduates. So with that being said, pay by the hour spots are incredibly hard to come by. So I propose that we have something called parking hour allotment. This is incredibly flexible because it would allow students to both park in garages and lots. And at the start of the semester, they'd be giving 30 hours to park in whatever space they choose. This is similar to printing funds. You can add to it if necessary. So if they want to park in a garage, they just swipe their student ID and start their time and then whenever they leave, they'd swipe their card again and it'd end their time. And then the same for the lot. You would go on maybe a parking app and start your time and end your time when you leave. And then time spaces would function as normal. So David Vills from mandatory.com brings up a great point. He says that the people who can't find parking are actually the ones creating all of the congestion. So something like this would get students in and out of campus really quickly, because they wouldn't want to use all of their parking hours, and they'd be only on campus for the amount of time they need to be. David Vills from the same article talks about the idea of parking passes increasing heavily in price, as you saw in the first slide. And students are resorting more to just paying for outright citations just to be on class, or just to be on time for class, which is in my idea kind of dumb. So here's my works cited. And with that being said, I just want to say there's a ton of issues with parking on campus. I've named a few of them, mainly being the price and the limited number of spots available. But there's so much potential for change. I believe if we give students the ability to utilize a parking allotment hour, then they are only on campus for as much as they need to be, and they'll probably utilize A&M's resources more effectively with time's sake in their mind. So with this obvious need for improvement on transportation, I will now pass it off to Jose, and he's going to talk about something very interesting with apartment complexes and parking. Thank you.